Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're starting something that I've been wanting to do for an extremely long time, and I just haven't found the right game group to play with me, so I'm starting a solo campaign of VagrantSong. We're in our brand new studio space. We've got multiple camera angles. We've got a wide shot showing off the whole thing. We've got an angled shot over here that's looking at the board. We've got two top shots and, of course, a beautiful dice rolling shot so you all can stay contained and focused on the action during the entire course of the game. I'm very excited about this. Oh, we also have ambient train noises, rain, and whistles in the background, so this is an atmosphere. I'm extremely excited about this. VagrantSong has been one of those games that I have fallen in love with over the course of the last few years. We did just recently get to do a sponsored video with them. None of this gameplay series is sponsored, but they do have currently a campaign running called VagrantSong Encore. I'll leave a link to that in the top of the description down below. It's a fantastic game. It's a boss battler. It's a exploration story-based game. Kind of runs in the line of Cuphead style artwork mixed with what I would call an over the garden wall style vibe, which I really dig. All these weird, wacky characters, a little bit of the macabre mixed in with some light humor and some beautiful artwork and some really cool aesthetics. And, of course, it's got that vagabond feel. It's got that, it's got that kind of outlaw singer-songwriter style atmosphere, and I just love everything about that. We are going to be mixing in two of the bonus scenarios. We have the bonus scenario here that deals with the sheriff's badge, and we have the seance scenario that deals with the Fox sisters. I'll go over it in just a bit, how we incorporate those into the game, so I'll let you know. And we're going to be starting here with Shelter from the Storm, which is the one that you've probably seen covered the most, because other people who have featured this game largely haven't done a full campaign playthrough, but have focused on one of the earlier story arcs. That is this. This one is the first chapter. Stick with me, hang out, watch the mechanics of the game, let's get into a flow here, and then we're going to be playing through as much as I'm able to, and posting here on the channel as much as the audience demands. If the views are good, if people are engaged, if people are leaving comments and continuing to come back and watch the show, we'll keep posting it here on YouTube. If there's a little bit of a disconnect, it seems to fade off around episode 5 or 6 like sometimes campaign games do, because people feel like they need to have watched everything in order to continue watching, then we'll switch it over to Patreon and we'll release them over there. Either way, I am very excited about this. Now, please, excuse me taking a random drink from time to time and swallowing. I have two things that are working against me at the moment. I have an expander in. I'm about to get braces in like a month, so I can be as pretty as possible for everyone here. And I have a perpetual tickle in my throat. Shira says that it's allergies. I deny ever having allergies, so she's probably right. Either way, let's begin. Okay, VagrantSong. Boss battler, exploration game. I'll walk through the mechanics as I play, but let's talk about who we're bringing. I'm going to be bringing out the Curse Bearer and the Empress. Now, one of the nice things about this camera over here is that I can show you close-ups on the cards that I have. Like, for instance, here, Distant Memory. How nice. There, we can see it, you can read it, we can carry it along. I have Curse Bearer and the Empress taped to the bottom of the board, so I'm not going to show you their boards very closely. I'll put these cards over here. There you go. Curse Bearer and the Empress. I like how both these characters play. I've explored with them a little bit during the campaign, but one of the reasons I brought them out is because the last time I brought the Songsmith out, and I've also played with the lovely pup over here. These characters I've played a lot more of the game with. I am getting used to how the Curse Bearer works, and I'm getting used to how the Empress works. Let's go through a little bit of their lore. I love lore, story, and flavor text, so if you like that, you're going to be sticking around for the entire video. Curse Bearer. The Curse Bearer has been running for a very long time. Armed with her guile and trusty knife, she hopes to defeat the creature of the darkness that pursues her. She just needs to figure out how. Passive. So this is what's going to be on these boards. Devil on your heels. Once per turn after you're haunted, the Haint gains 1 humanity. A Haint will regret haunting you with this potent defensive act. So if a Haint passes through us, they gain a humanity. Could be a good way to deal a little bit of extra damage if you don't mind getting haunted along the way. Depends on what the haunted consequences are. And that's where their miniature moves through our miniature. It's gross. Starting skills. Old Knife. So, we have Old Knife. I'll set that over here so you can look at. Strange Blade, number 67, and Distant Memory. So Old Knife. Old Knife is going to say, reduce the skill's success value by 2 if you've moved this turn. For each success, gain 1 humanity. Over here you see the token that you have to play, the token you have to play to trigger it. You see the range that it can be. This is 1 away, so it needs to be next to you. You can see the the bones that you roll, so the number of dice we roll would be 2, and a success would be on a 5+. But if we've moved this turn, we reduce the success value by 2, which means if we've moved, we're kind of dashing forward, we could actually deal damage on a 3. And Distant Memory. The target gains 1 humanity for each of your Haint effects. Then for each success, the target gains 1 humanity additionally. Again, Haint effects, the token that we're playing down, so I just get humanity here, range 1 to 2. Bones I roll is the number of Haint effects that I put down on the board, so very powerful, but it needs a success of a 4+. And we have the Empress. Despite few people acknowledging her as the Empress of America, she hasn't stopped spreading her message or trying to amass an army. If any ghosts think they can stop here, they're solely mistaken. Passive, Boxcar Queen. The first time you roll a booming boxcar per turn, which is rolling a natural 6, roll an extra bone. With a little bit of luck, you can get the upper hand and teach a Haint a thing or 2. Very important to remember, because, I sometimes forget to trigger any booming boxcars when I roll a 6, let alone trigger 2 of them. Her starting skills, General Orders and Strangely Resonant Speech. So, General Orders here. For each success, target gains 1 humanity. On 3 or more successes, the next Vagrant to take their turn this round gains 1 additional token. Very nice, 1 additional coin. And then we have Strangely Resonant Speech. Strangely Resonant Speech. For each success, target gains 1 humanity. On 3 or more successes, you may have another Vagrant in range gain 1 humanity, or gain Haint level humanity. It's very nice. Okay, so let's start playing. Let's figure this out. I want to make sure that my title for the Haint effects are correct. So no, the Haint effects are actually going to be these little ghost symbols, not the tokens we're playing down. So sorry for the confusion there. Terminology. Okay, so the more possessed I am, the more damage I'm going to do. I think that's good. I'm not sure, but I think presumably it has to be good. Okay, Shelter from the Storm. You're just one from a handful of train hoppers trying to find shelter from the storm. You don't recognize any familiar faces, and come to think of it, you don't even remember seeing them hop on the train with you. But every one of them swears up and down they just got here, and based on your experience, you can't help but believe them. The strange thing is that this place seems to be from a different part of town, or towns, places you've never even heard of. After a few handshakes and how-do-you-dos, you try to settle in the best you can, but without a hay bale or old cushion calling your name, neither the train nor the situation bring you much comfort. The only thing you all have in common, it seems, is the welcoming hand that helped each of you aboard. White-gloved, loose-skinned. That Mr. Welcoming Hand appears to be missing. Either way, hopefully things go nice and peaceful on this leg of the journey. That sinking feeling in your gut is telling you otherwise. So, on the board, we have our player boards. We have our main board here. We have some rituals that we'll go through, which are things that we can try to complete during the course of the game. We have our enemy tracker, our Haint tracker. Right now, they are going to be lost, and soon they're going to be but not alone, so lost but not alone. And we're going to be maneuvering on the board. There's some numbers here. Those are going to be things that we trigger. The object of the game is to bring their humanity down to 0. That'll trigger a break, triggering token number 7, then token number 0, and then the last time we do that, they will be out of out of energy, or out of humanity, or full of humanity, I suppose is the term, and they will then be freed from the endless burden of riding on a semi-sentient train car full of other ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. Okay, the bonus scenario that we have here. How to include this scenario in VagrantSong. This scenario includes the Tier 2 junk card, Sheriff's Badge. Add it to the junk deck when instructed to add Tier 2 junk. After revealing the Sheriff's Badge junk card from DC, who's the marketplace, for the first time, immediately read moment B1 on the back of this booklet. Vagrants do not have to spend coins on the Sheriff Badge to acquire it. So that's how that's going to incorporate in. And then we have our lovely Fox Sisters. So Fox Sisters, how to include this scenario in the VagrantSong. These are all little expansions you can get as well. This scenario booklet includes a seance track. Whenever the Vagrants perform a seance during the camp phase, sort of do a ritual to get a little bit more information on what's going to be happening, or a little bit of an advantage on what's going to be happening next in the game. Mark off a box in this track and read the corresponding moment. If all boxes on this track are marked, seances no longer need to be tracked. It is encouraged to perform a seance first during camp phase, as these moments may provide additional benefits at that time. Additionally, this scenario includes portrait cards, which can be used in other scenarios to keep track of Vagrant turns during their round. We have our portrait cards over in our dice tray. We'll leave them there for now. The way the game's going to flow, I've got 3 coins per character. I have to do one character's action at a time. I'm going to be assigning these coins to different locations and resolving the actions. I have to assign a certain number of coins before I start resolving the actions, so I can't manipulate or upgrade those actions during the course of play. There's a few things to be mindful of. First off is the rituals that we need to complete. So, ritual. Strangers on a train. As a team, remove 2 Haint effects to complete this ritual. So the Haint effects are going to be the things he's going to be giving us by taking his actions. These will flip and give us potentially a benefit whenever they trigger. First Blood. After a Vagrant suffers a wound, remember, by flipping over one of their skills after losing enough humanity, complete this ritual. So a wound is going to take one of our skill cards away. It doesn't kill us or make us go westbound, which is going to be the back of our player boards, but it still isn't something you want to do, although you might now seek it out with one of your characters a little bit more because there is a ritual to do so. And then we have Long Stretch on the Lonely Road. If the turned faces move from train car A to C, or C to A in a single turn, complete this ritual. So, I have a little bit of added information because I have played this scenario before. I know that the turn faces are going to jump from the brake side of the train all the way over to the round side of the train if I have a character all the way over here. So I am going to play towards that knowledge a little bit, but I'm just letting you know what I'm doing because it'll look like I'm wandering off into the darkness for no apparent reason. Okay, setup. Place the terrain tokens and markers as shown above. We've done that. Players place their Vagrants in any of the V spots shown. We've done that. Place the threshold token on the appropriate space of the humanity track based on player count. That's 8 because we're playing a 2-player style game. Place the turn faces on their designed space, and the 3 shelter from the storm ritual cards in their designated space. So we've done that. Once players are ready to go, read event 1. So we'll do that in just a moment. There is no special rule for this scenario. Remember, losing humanity is different for both Haints and Vagrants. There are no special terrain effects in this scenario. Remember, Haints may move on to terrain, but Vagrants may not. These boxes block my pathway. We have 2 different Haint effects. For the dark black ones, we have lower your move value by 1. Remove the shakes if you discard an iron nails, which will come from the bindle bag here. And we have Spooked. If you end your turn in range 2 from the turn faces, lose 2 humanity. Then remove Spooked. So you take a little bit more damage there. Finally, we have Breaks. When the turn face breaks, each Vagrant may rummage 1. Remember, when a Haint breaks, the next turn a Haint would take is skipped, and all Vagrants gain 1 humanity. The effect above is unique to the turned faces. And then finally, Victory. To save the turn faces, give them back all their lost humanity until they have no more breaks. Okay, flipping over, event 1. Awfully dark in here, but at least it's quiet, huh? Doesn't look like you were the only group to hop on. After all, maybe it's time to introduce yourself. Move the turn faces 2 spaces towards the break side. Remember, Haints can move onto terrain, but Vagrants can't. So they're going to cross right through here, drifting silently over towards the breaks. And we are going to be triggering our actions now. So, thinking through the characters that I have, and the way that I'm able to attack and do damage and kind of manipulate the board, I'm going to rush forward here with the Curse Bearer. I have 3 movement, and I'm going to go ahead and trigger event number 2. Event number 2. Looks like they left something behind. What kind of traveling tramp starts shedding all their things? Investigate, page 16 of the rulebook. Investigate is going to be where I roll. Now, I should have... Oh, I need to investigate. So I'm going to play 2 down on investigate to have had triggered that thing. So now I'm going to be rolling on a table. And I will have 2 tokens there to try and see what I'm able to get. So let's just make sure we're doing this as right as possible. Investigate. The Vagrant in the same space as the event token may attempt to investigate it with the investigate action. Each Vagrant has an investigate value. When a Vagrant attempts to investigate, turn the event page and read the first portion of the event. Then they roll a number of bones equal to the number of coins they have placed onto the investigate icon. Each bone rolled that meets or exceeds the Vagrant investigate value is treated as a success. So my value is 3+. So I'm going to be rolling 2 bones, hoping to grab myself a couple successes. We have a 3 and a 5, which is going to be a double success. So 2 successes over here on the board. Oh well, this sure looks useful. Rummage 2. Only keep one of the tokens rummaged this way, but you may give the other to any other Vagrant. So I'm going to take 2 tokens out of the bag. I have some nails and some nails. Nice. So nails, iron nails. A Haint within range 2 gains 2 humanity. So you can kind of like pierce them through them, I suppose. I'm not sure exactly. I like that though. It could hurt them a little bit. I might go ahead and do that actually. We'll see. Then, after keeping the rummage tokens, add event tokens 8 and 9 into our bag. Then give the bindle a good shake. Then remove event token 2, which we've already done. Remember, when you rummage 2, draw 2 rummages from the bindle. Your rummage value indicates how many rummage tokens it can hold at a given time. For more info, page 16 of the rulebook. Okay, so I've used all of my actions here with the Curse Bearer. So I'm going to flip her over, and now that we've taken a full turn with 1 player, we're going to go ahead and activate our lovely turn faces. So the way they activate is they're going to draw 1 from the bag. They're drawing a little rabbit's foot, and we're going to correspond it to their chart here. So right now, they are lost. If the Haint is adjacent to the break side of the board at the end of the turn, read event card 5. Cycle effect. There's no cycle effect for this mood. Cycles normally after the current action is resolved. Take all the rummage tokens off the cycle track and put them back into the bindle. Haunted effect. Goosebumped. Lose 1 humanity. So if they pass through you, it'll cost you a humanity. Remember, edges are... Okay. Pull it together is going to be the action. Move towards the break side. Vagrants in range 2 move 2 towards the break side and lose 2 humanity. So they're going to go 1, 2. I was not within range 2. I was not within range 2. I was within range 3. So I'm not going to move, and they're just going to keep wandering distantly into the forward. I am going to go ahead and use my Empress here. I'm going to rummage for 2. That means I draw 2 from the bag, but I can only keep 1. Okay, oh, I drew too many. I didn't see that one until later. So I have an apple and a candle. The apple is going to allow me to heal a wound, and the candle allows us to distract the Haint. I think, I could use the candle to pull him our way. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to let him continue going, and I'm going to work my way back up here. You'll see why. I am, however, going to keep the apple, because that's one of the more powerful options that we have, and I don't want to lose that. So I'm going to put the candle back in here. Then I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 to move by 3. And I'm going to wrap around this corner here. And that is going to be the end of my turn with the Empress. And we're going to go ahead and let the Haint go again. Moving forward. Pulls a candle out of the bag. That Lonesome Valley moves towards the break side. Target Vagrant loses to humanity. Move towards the break side. 1, 2, 3. And target Vagrant is going to have to be my Curse Bearer, because my Curse Bearer is going to be closer than my other target. So we're going to move that down. We have a reference here for, so Haint target priority. Special priority if it's specified. Action specific if it's specified on the action. Candles come next. Then Hurt Vagrant. Then Nearby Vagrant. Then Vagrant. Then Westbound Vagrant. And then Recent Vagrant. So I was the Nearby Vagrant in that case, and it didn't have a specific range, or it had a range of 6, which was more than enough to reach me. So that'll work. Okay. Moving on down. Let's go ahead and go. I can go with either of my characters, and I need to shift the round tracker forward by 1. I'm going to go ahead and go with my Curse Bearer again. I think I'm going to keep the same order here. We're going to move 3 forward. 1, 2, 3. Another 3 forward. 1, 2, 3. And then finally we're going to rummage 1 just to pull another item out of this bag. And we'll trigger event 6 next turn. We grabbed a little bit of salt. So salt. When targeted by a Haint action, use salt to ignore the effects of that action. Nice. So salt can just distract him a little bit. And then my lovely Empress is going to go again. And we're going to spend 1, 2, 3 on move. And we're just going to move right up here into this back zone. That's all we're going to be doing. We could punch, we could heal, we could investigate, we could rummage. If I rummaged, I would have to drop 1 in order to keep what I rummaged for. But I think I like my combination because I want to use the nails to actually do some damage to him. I think that's my plan. They also can be used to get rid of the shakes. And the shakes reduce my movement. Which is also not preferable. First, though, the turn faces are going to have had gone after the Curse Bearer. Vader on Apple as well. Move towards the break side. Target Vagrant loses 3 humanity and gains the shakes. So 1, 2, 3 towards the break side. Lovely Curse Bearer. Gains the shakes. Could have discarded that Iron Nail. I could have discarded that Iron Nail to get rid of it. For now, we're just going to keep it with a little bit less movement. Empress went next. And the Vagrant went after the Empress. Technically. With a candle, move towards the break side, target Vagrant loses 2 humanity. Oh, I should have lost 3 here. Arrived at the break side, I will go ahead and say my Curse Bearer, who was within 6, loses another 2. We're about to take a wound, which might not be the worst thing, but also might be a terrible thing. We're not entirely sure what the consequences of that are yet. We have to trigger a ritual when it happens, but for now, we have reached the break side of the board. So let's go ahead and read Event 5. Event 5. Can't they see there's no door there? Change the turn face's mood to but not alone. So we're going to flip this token over. Then the turn faces immediately performs the rabbit foot action on the yonder. After performing the Haint action, Vagrants in range 2 of the turn faces lose 2 humanity. On the yonder. So now he is but not alone. Vagrants in range 2 of the turn faces cannot remove Spooked. Cycle effect. No turning back now. Vagrants in the same train car move 1 towards the turn faces. Then Vagrants adjacent to the turn faces gain Spook. Okay? And remember, the cycle effect occurs at the end of the current character's turn. Okay? And Haunted effect, Goosebumped, lose 1 humanity. So, we're going to do the Rabbit Foot's trigger. Target the farthest Vagrant. Move to the farthest adjacent space to the target, haunting any Vagrants in the most immediate path towards them. So he is going to go... Now, this is not the most immediate path. If I'd been over by 1, it would have been. but he's going to pop right here, the farthest space possible. And I now are right next to him. And the consequence of that will be I'll lose 2 humanity. Because I'm right there near him. Now I do want to check the cycle effect ability. Oh! Just to make sure I'm triggering that correctly as well. Again, when you're playing by yourself, you always have these little things that you know, you think you know perfectly, and then you realize people are going to be commenting on it online, and they're not very kind on there, and it's worth checking. It's worth trying to see if things are right. So, cycling. Cycling is going to happen not on a event like that, but it's going to happen here on the cycle track. Many Haints have a cycle effect. The cycle may change depending on the Haint's current mood. The cycle effect can be anything from another action to a constant effect that stacks throughout the scenario. When the number of any rummage tokens from the cycle track is equal or exceeds the cycle value, the cycle effect is resolved by reading and performing the cycle event text based on the Haint's current mood at the end of the current character's turn. After the cycle effect is resolved, all rummage tokens on the cycle track are added to the bindle, then shake the bindle and give it a good shake to shuffle the tokens inside. So the cycle is going to happen. This cycle effect here where we gain spooked is going to happen when one of these numbers hits the number adjacent to it. Now, the next thing that's going to happen is the round is going to go down, and we're going to trigger event 3. You hear something behind you, a heavy thud and then a slow drag. Things fall from the top of train cars all the time, right? Place event 4 in any open space of the train car, open space adjacent to the round's side in train car A, then remove event 3. So we're now next to the turn faces, but we're also next to lovely event 4 there, which is one of the reasons why I moved into the back corner, because I wanted to trigger event 4. We do have a ritual to resolve. He has moved from train car A to C, or C to A. The turn faces gain 5 humanity. All vagrants gain 2 humanity. Gain 1 coin to use during the camp phase. So I'm going to use this to mark my coin. Turn faces gain 5 humanity. So they're going to move from 8 all the way down to 3. We gain 2 humanity, which means we are healing, and gain 1 coin to use during the camp phase, which is the thing that allows us to buy items, abilities, and do seances, which with the Fox sisters involved, we're always going to want to do seances. Now, this coin comes from the brand new expansion, but I have it, so I will use it. Okay. Moving on down. Both characters could go. We'll full up to the top. I'm going to start over here with my Empress. My Empress is... My Empress is going to discard the nails to beat up this guy a little bit. They'll go here. So that'll give him 2. And then I think I'm going to do 1 good swing. Which ability do I want to use? I'm going to go ahead and do the Strangely Resonant Speech. For each success, target gains 1 humanity. On a 3 or more, you may have another Vagrant gain humanity, so heal up. Let's do 2 here, actually. No, let's do 1. I want to investigate with 2. So 1 die, looking for a success of 4+. 3 is not going to get it, sadly, so we're not going to be able to do damage. Let's go ahead then and double down on trying to attack this guy. Let's hit him. Success of 4+. We're just going to punch him in the gonads. That is going to be 1 success, which is all we need to go ahead and drop him down to 0, triggering the first break of the game, moving that 7 token off, popping this back up to 8. And let's see what 7 says. Event 7. The whole damn train starts to shake like a wet dog. This can't be good. Each vagrant rolls 1 bone and resolves the effect based on the value rolled. Alright, so I'm going to roll 4 Curse Bearer and the Empress. Ooh, 1 for the Empress. Gain Spooked. So we're going to get a little bit more frightened here. With the Empress and then the Curse Bearer, move 3 towards the break side. 1, 2, 3. I'll do that. It's towards the break side. I still want to pick up that 6, so I don't want to move too far away from it. If a vagrant's move would end due to an edge or terrain, that vagrant stops their movement and loses 3 humanity. Oh no. I move there. I then can't move because the terrain farther closer, so I'm going to lose 3 humanity. Okay. Win a Haint break, skip the next Haint turn, and all vagrants gain 1 humanity. So we all heal up by 1. The turn faces also have extra effect when they break. They allow the vagrant to rummage 1 if they choose. I'll rummage 1 for each of my characters. Got another set of iron nails, which I can only keep 2 of those, and got a candle. So I'm going to put 1 set of iron nails back into the bag. Okay. That was all of my actions. So now the Haint is going to go ahead and go, but they skip this turn because we just broke them. And we're back at the top of the round with our Curse Bearer having the action free. So the Curse Bearer is going to go ahead and move over here, and we'll do an investigate value of 2 to let me roll 2 bones and hopefully see what's happening on number 6 here. Carved in the wood is an arrowhead pointing downward. You've seen it before on the road. It's the code. Get ready to defend yourself. Automatically succeed this investigation action. Okay? Choose 1, then remove event 6. You may have any vagrant in range 3 gain 2 humanity, or you may give another vagrant in one of your rummage tokens. If you do, rummage 1. So I could give someone a rummage token and then rummage 1. Sure, I will hand over my nails to the Empress. She will discard her candle, and I will rummage 1. I know there's 2 events in this rummage, and they give me some items, so I would like to trigger them if possible, but that is not going to be my luck. 6 is going to pop off the board here. And if I'd been smart, I wouldn't have played 2 down on that, because I really didn't need to, but that's okay. We have gone. Our big guy is going to go ahead and go. So drawing for our Haint. Drawing an apple. This is going to trigger a cycle effect as well. So, uphill ride and a slow goodbye. Vagrants in the same train car move 3 towards the round side and lose 3 humanity. So, I'm there. I'll lose 3 humanity. I can't move any closer to the round side, though. And then our lovely guy here is going to be doing a cycle effect. So, all of these are going to be coming off and going back into the bag. And vagrants in the same train car move 1 towards the turn faces. Then vagrants adjacent to the turn faces gain a spooked. So, I am gaining another spooked. It would be nice if I didn't, hit and mess up my entire board, but would not be Quackalope video then. Okay, spooked. If you end your turn in range 2 of the spaces, lose 2 humanity, and remove spooked. To remove spooked, discard salt. So I'm about to, after I go, I'm about to lose a decent bit of humanity. Alright, both characters are available. I did some decent damage to him before, but now I think I want to go ahead and check that number 4. So, I'm going to take a step away. I'm going to investigate for 2. I don't know what I'm drawing from this. Event 4. An old suitcase, real old, like hell and back old. Couldn't hurt to have a little look and see what's inside. Investigate. Okay. So I need a success of 1 if I want to trigger this. Success of 2, it looks like. Bones filled to the brim with bones, all kinds of them, and only some of them are human. One seems a little cleaner than the others. For each success after the first, you may move 1, pull out a rabbit's foot from the bindle, then give the bindle a good shake. Remove event 4. Okay, so for each success after the first, so I can move 1 and find a rabbit foot here in the bindle, which a rabbit foot is another one of the rare items, which is not something that we want him to have. And a rabbit foot, you may use a rabbit's foot as an additional coin in your turn. Very nice. So, do I get rid of the nails? I handed myself the nails because I wanted to deal damage to him. Let's have had said that I played the nails to begin with, dropping his humanity by 2. It's what I intended to do. I wasn't going to use them for anything else at the moment. I don't have anything to discard. It makes sense. Okay. Moving on down to our lovely Haint's turn. Our Haint is going to be drawing a candle. Shaking hands. Target Vagrant loses 2 humanity. If this would target a Vagrant, that Vagrant gains the shakes. He can move 3. 1, 2, 3. He is going to be able to target me, and he is going to be able to go ahead and give me the shakes. And I'll lose 2 humanity. Dropping down, we are about to trigger another ritual. As a team, remove 2 Haint effects to complete this ritual. That's something to keep in mind now, because I do have Salt. So as soon as I'm in a position where I can do that, I might want to do that to trigger another one of these ritual abilities. The last one did 5 health. So if I am assuming the same thing, then maybe doing it sooner rather than later would be smart. All right, over here with the Curse Bearer. Let's go ahead and start running forward. 6 movement. Okay. We're going to pause there. Now let's do another movement. Let's just dash. Let's get the whole way up here. All right. Moving on to our turn faces. Another candle. Target Vagrant loses 2 humanity. If there's wounded Vagrant, that Vagrant gains shakes. Drop down. I have 1 humanity left. And I'm taking another shakes effect. And both of our characters are back up and running. So either of them could go. I am going to go ahead and use the Curse Bearer first. I think. No, let's use the Empress first. Do we think we can do 6 damage in a single turn? I don't know that it's impossible. For each success, target gains 1 humanity. Under 3 or more successes, the next Vagrant to take their turn this round gains 1 additional coin. Let's do that. I'm going to put 3 down on General's orders. And I'm looking to deal as much damage as possible. Remember, I have booming boxcars. Alright, so that 6 is going to turn into 1 success and 2 more booming boxcars. Has to be in the dice tray. Making that rolling now. So that's a 2. So I'm not going to get the benefit. I'm not going to get the extra advantage. But 2 successes will be 2 damage. Knock him down by 1, and he is going to go. We have Assault. Shoo Fly Shakedown. Vagrants in the same train car gain the shakes. Okay, that's only going to be my Empress. My Empress is in trouble, though. Oh, and she just ended her turn, so I need to discard both of these because... okay, so I need to follow this a little bit more closely. You should have moved 3 less spaces because you have the shakes. You have a lot of shakes, and also you took Spooked, so you could have removed all of those, and you were breaking one of your abilities, so I use this one, so I'm going to have to break this next one. I don't have to, but I will. So I'm taking a wound, and we are going to read card First Blood. The turn faces gain 5 humanity. Gain 1 coin to use during the camp phase. Okay, they get humanity because they feel bad about beating us up, I guess. So they're going to be moving down, and they're going to break, moving down to story event 0. Okay. Story event 0. The wooden beams that make up the train car walls begin to shift and slide outwards, creating makeshift windows in the walls. But instead of seeing the wilderness or a train car outside, all you see are bright blue faces looking in, grinning wide. From now until the end of the scenario, the first Vagrant to take their turn each round loses 4 humanity. Remove event 0. Okay, not really what we were looking to have happen, but that's okay. 8 more damage, and our Haint is off the board. So, he was going, though, Shoofly Shakedown, I would have lost 2 humanity. And now we're top of the round with our Curse Bearer. So, Curse Bearer needs to go ahead and get there. I'm going to discard the Iron Nails to get rid of the Shakes, which is going to go ahead and be a trigger towards that ritual. Then I'm going to go ahead and start running. I could have done that beginning last time, I suppose, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get right there next to him. By the way, we're just moving down rounds. I need to get better at tracking the different dials that are on the board. The Empress really needs a little bit of help. All right. Turn faces are going to go. Apple. Wander in the uphill ride and a slow goodbye. Vagrants in the same train car move 3 towards the round side and lose 3 humanity. Okay. Curse Bearer is going to take a damage. Go up here to the top. And the Empress is close to taking a damage. Alright, that's where we are. Top of the round. Both characters are ready and available. Who do I want to go with first? I think the Empress. I want to trigger this other ritual. And hunting through the bindle is going to be the way to do that. Empress is going to go. I'm going to spend this apple. The apple would immediately trigger a cycle effect. Vagrants in the same train car move 1 towards the turn faces. I'm not going to do this yet. I want my bindle empty. Here's the problem. If I don't spend some of my stuff, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to be using the rabbit's foot to do a search. I'm going to be using all 4. But I only get to keep 1. So we'll use all 4 and we'll dig through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I am keeping some nails. The others are going in. I'm using the nails to get rid of an effect, which is going to trigger this last seance. The turn faces gain 5 humanity, gain 1 coin to use during the camp phase. 3 additional coins to the camp phase is nothing to sneeze at, by the way. Very good. Alright, and 5. They're down to 3, so my Curse Bearer might be able to finish them off if we get some lucky hits. I am going to go ahead and use my apple to heal this wound. And these are going to cycle over here. Back into the bag. We haven't pulled the tokens from the bag. I was hoping to do that. We'll see if we're able to or not. And our cycle effect is going to happen. Vagrants in the same train car move 1 towards the turn faces. Then Vagrants adjacent to the turn faces are going to gain a spooked, which means if we end our turn next to him, we will take damage. Then he is going to go. Nothing bad, I hope. Nails. Oh, by the way, need to remember this. At the start of his turn, the first person to take a turn loses 4 humanity. So I would have been back up here to the top, and I would have had another 1 broken. We're very close to going westbound. I don't like how close we are to going westbound. All right. His action is going to be the nails. Roll and tumble. Vagrants in range 2 lose 2 humanity, then move 1 away from the turned faces. 2 down, 1 away. Alright, Curse Bearer. Let's see what you're able to do. Curse Bearer is going to go ahead and actually use Assault to be able to have ignored that action so I can stay next to him. Because I want to use all 3 of mine on Old Knife Strange Blade, which is a 5+, but I get to roll 3 dice. So let's see if we can get some successes. It'll be 1 success, which will give him 1 humanity. That is not enough to finish it off. He's drawing from the bag. Some iron nails. Vagrants in range 2 lose 2 humanity, then move 1 away from the turn faces. You can't move away. You can move away. 2 humanity down. 2 humanity down. Top of the round, someone's going to be taking 4 damage. Start here with a Curse Bearer. Let's take a step forward, and then let's punch him in the face. Step forward, 4+. Looking for 2 successes. That would be amazing. Ooh, a 6 and a 6. Followed by a 5. That's 3 successes. Knocking him down to 0. We have broken him for the last time. And when the turn faces break, each Vagrant may rummage 1. Remember, whenever Haint breaks, I didn't do that. Victory. To save the turn faces, give them back all their humanity until they have no more breaks. So we're moving over here to camp phase, because we just won. Tear down, restore humanity, clean up the scenario. Okay, humanity is restored. Scenario will be cleaned up after. Spend coins. Left, this little dance might help you move out of harm's way. And right, looks like saying the early bird gets the worm turned out to be true. Skill acquire. So I could acquire skill number 1. I could acquire skill number 2. I'm going to spend some money on some skills, I think. Or do I want to heal some wounds? I've got a lot of stuff. Now I have 3 additional coins because of how this played, and I have a coin for each one of my characters. So I'm not in a terrible spot. 9 coins total. Let's acquire 2 skills. Let's acquire for the Curse Bearer, moving out of harm's way, and let's acquire for the Empress the ability to have the early bird. So we're going to gain skill number 1 and skill number 2. So number 1 and number 2. Move out of harm's way, skill number 2. 2-step shuffle. Target gains 2 humanity for each success. You may move 1 away from the target. Okay. Just a little bit of a dance there. And then we have can-do attitude. For each success, target gains 1 humanity. Then, if you're the first Vagrant to take a turn this round, target gains an additional humanity. Not bad. And skills also add us defenses. They add a little bit of blockage to taking damage from our enemies. Alright, we've got 5 left. We're going to be spending 2 to perform a seance. We know we want to do that. We're also probably going to be healing, but let's go ahead and do the seance track first. And let's see where that progresses. So, starting here. Okay, along with the victory there, we are doing the seance, so we have the seance card that's mixing in. But the victory here, read moment 28, which is going to be here from the rulebook. Okay, moment. After a moment, standing in silence, they each relax their shoulders and let out a sigh of relief. One by one, the turn faces begin to slowly vanish out of sight. You can feel the burdens lift from their shoulders, but you're only beginning. If all 3 rituals were completed and there were no Vagrants who became westbound during the scenario, gain Cold Shoulder Milepost. Okay, very nice. Then, good, there's a dog barking. Love that. Perfect. All of the noise possible, Ash. Make sure we know that there's intruders coming into the house. Love it. So, if all 3 rituals were completed and there were no Vagrants who became westbound during the scenario, gain the Cold Shoulder Milepost. After the camp phase, continue to the next scenario on page 5 of the scenario book. So we need the Cold Shoulder Milepost, which is going to be back here on the milepost. I have a sheet. I printed it out. It's very fancy. I have a reference sheet for the game, and of course I have this printed sheet. So we'll track that in just a moment. And we're going to be triggering a seance, which pairs with our Fox sisters here. So moving them on down, read moment F1. So moment F1 from the Fox sisters. There's a wooden box and a blue handkerchief with a lonely half moon draped over it. A few unique unlit candles, a pile of ashes, and some dirty jewelry are scattered on top, like somebody just emptied their pockets and booked it. You all sit down, and for whatever reason, you take each other's hands and close your eyes. One of y'all is eager, that's for sure. Wonder why the player who sat down first before any other player at the beginning of the game may rummage 1. So we're going to go ahead and give the curse bearer a rummage 1. Why? Because she's closer to me, I suppose. Curse bearer has some nails. So we'll be starting the next scenario with some nails. Okay, we'll set this off and we'll mark that we've done 1 seance so far. I still have a total of 3 coin to spend. Now I could draw junk, I could rummage, I could perform a seance, which I've already done, I could heal 1 or fix a broken junk. I'm going to spend 2 coins to go ahead and fully heal everyone here at the table. I think that's reasonable. And then I only have 1 coin left, so I'm going to bank this coin, which means we're going to start going up this track over here. Banked coins. Once we get enough, we'll read some moments in the game as well, which can be very valuable. I've heard. I haven't actually done a lot of banking coins in the past, so might as well do it. Okay. Look, you just saw a bunch of faceless phantoms who were in the same predicament as you, stuck on this train to nowhere, and now you're talking to a cat. Don't make it weird, or else I won't offer the help you so desperately need. Now, what are you hungry for? All right, we've spent all of our abilities. I'm going to reset the game board, review the abilities we have, double check some rules, and then continue with this campaign. So we'll be going on to our lovely flayed man who has the under my skin scenario next. Let me know if you're watching this, if you're still staying tuned. Leave a comment down below. Let us know that you're enjoying what's happening over here, because it's the only way that we can continue making this nonsense. All right, whatever the case though, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. See you next time. Bye.